I keep getting comments from agents that are pushing back on when a buyer representation agreement or BRBC form is actually required. These critics like to point out that the Realtor NAR settlement requirement is that a buyer representation agreement is signed prior to the first showing, but the California state law that went into effect January 1st instead requires a buyer representation agreement to be signed as soon as practicable, but no later than when an offer is written. These critics like to point out the word practicable, thinking that it somehow gives agents more discretion or more leniency as to when a representation agreement is signed, but it's actually the opposite. The word practicable is cleverly used to eliminate any agent's excuse as to why they don't have a representation agreement signed. Practicable basically means as soon as reasonable or practical. Do you think that if you're communicating with a client about properties, setting an appointment with the client, and then going in person to meet with the client, that at no point in all that time you had the ability to have your client sign a document? Do you think that you can make the case that through all that communication and meeting in person, it was impossible for your client to sign a representation agreement? The answer is no. Practicable is used because there are scenarios in which a showing may occur when getting a representation agreement signed isn't in fact practicable. How about this? You're locking up one of your listings. Someone walks up to you and asks to see the house. You facilitate an impromptu showing. In that scenario, it's not practicable to execute or even draft a representation agreement. And just to be clear, the law in California says, but no later than the execution of the buyer's offer. The law is acknowledging the rare scenario in which a representation agreement isn't done yet, but also creates a hard deadline for when the offer is drafted. Here's why I think this is so silly that agents skirt the representation agreement. They're doing a disservice to themselves. This document literally secures your commission. Are you that adamant about working with no formal promise of compensation that you're willing to break the law? How badly do you want to risk getting burned? Look, this is a law for all agents. No one can undercut you. Write the commission agreement, blame it on the state law, play good cop, bad cop with the state, tell buyers how chill you used to be and how you never required it, but now the nanny state forces you by law. Let out an audible sigh, shake your head, and then point right where you're going to have the buyer sign the document with a generous commission listed on it for yourself. Oh, and what if the buyer pushes back that someone else is offering showings without it? Boom, you have instant moral high ground. You can cue your speech about how you don't break the law, how you don't compete with rule breakers, and how that's just a race to the bottom. Tell them, every buyer must choose between a legitimate agent and a criminal agent, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Whether you love or hate the law is irrelevant. It's here. And remember this document helps you secure the bag. So harness it, embrace it, and use it to your advantage. Thanks for watching.